We are going to start our journey into building augmented reality applications using Blender by first making our character ready. So in our project, when the user uses his mobile and clicks on any plane, we want our avatar to come out, and in augmented reality we want it to wish him hi. This is what our project is, and for this the very first thing is we want our character to be ready. Now in the previous session I had shown you how to use a site or an application called readyplayer.me and how you can create your own avatar. Now similar to readyplayer.me, this time I am going to give you an example of another website, and this time the website I am going to show you is called as uniavatars.com, and press enter. So this is going to bring you to this site called Union Avatars, and here the very first thing is in the screen I am going to click on this start now, and when I click on this start now, you are going to start this application first by creating account. So for this I will click accept here, and in email ID I am going to type my email ID, and when I click next, it is going to send you a verification code. See here you have your code 689192. So I will come over here and I will enter 689192. So here you have the option create avatar. So I am going to click on create avatar. First you have to identify whether you are a girl or a boy. So in my case I will choose male, click next, and then choose whether you want it to be realistic or cartoonist. I choose realistic. I will click next, and then either you can take the photograph using your webcam or click on upload photo and on image. Take a good passport size image of yours. See, I have taken this image and click on confirm. So now it starts with analysis of your photo, sculpting your beauty, crafting your digital mate, knitting your digital sweater, rendering magic in progress. See, this is my avatar created, and now in my case now what I am going to do is you can customize it. Say for example I can add specs here, or I can garments, and in garments I will choose shirt, and instead of this I am going to choose this black coat. Come to hairs, and in hairs I will click on show more, and you have so many options here. So I will select this hairstyle. Okay, so this appears to be fine. I am happy with this avatar and click on confirm. So when you click on confirm, it is going to ask for a name. I am going to call this as Sudhi, and I am going to click on confirm. So here my avatar is created. Now what I can do is I can click on these three dots over here, and I have various options to download. I'm going to select the option with blend shapes. I will select this option, and now you can see your avatar is downloaded. So once it is downloaded, I will just cut this or copy it, and I will bring into my hard disk. And now I am going to create a new folder, and I am going to call this as Sudhi avatar, your name avatar. And in this first I will paste this, then I am going to right click this, and I am going to rename this as sudhi.glb, and my next job starts in Blender. So now Blender is launched. I will just come into Blender, and this is the default scene. I will press A, X and delete everything. Then I will come to file, and the first thing is I am going to import my GLB model, and you will have to come to import and choose this GLTF2 option. And if this option is not present here, you can come to edit preferences, and you can come to add-ons, and in search you can just type GLTF, and you have this option GLTF2 format. See that this is enabled. If this is enabled, then I will close this. You can come to file, choose import. Now you will see this GLTF2 GLB this format. Click on this. Now come to the folder Sudhi avatar, select this sudhi.glb file which is around 12 MB. It's very big, I have to reduce this size. Select this sudhi.glb file and click on import. Now you can see your object has been imported. Let us come to texture mode and see that all textures are available here. See, all the textures are available. Now, if you come into the armature here, you can see body, bottom, hair, head, shoes, top. So you have 6 meshes. I want all these 6 to be one single mesh. Let us first save this file. I will go to file, choose save as, and after this I will come to Sudhi avatar, and here I am going to save this as Sudhi GLB model and save this. Inside the armature, I will select all the 6 meshes. I will come to object and choose join. Now you can see this entire thing is combined together. So now I will right click here and I will come to ID data and I am going to rename this as Sudhi underscore body. And if I open this, you have one single mesh, and I am also going to rename this mesh. File, choose rename, and I will call it as Sudhi body mesh. And if you open this, now one issue we have is we have 6 materials applied here. There are 8 materials here. I want all these 8 materials to be combined together into one single texture, which will be UV mapped, or I will come to shading here, and in shading view, in the drop down, I will select this eyelash one, starting with the very first mesh here. I am going to press Shift A and I am going to search an image texture node. I will add this one image texture node, and I am going to now create a new texture, and I am going to call this texture as Sudhi or your name body texture, and I am going to set its size to approximately 2048 by 2048, and then I am going to click on new image. And now I will select this image tag, right click and copy this, and see that in eyelash 001 you have Sudhi body texture is selected. Now come to every material. Now select the next material here, press Ctrl V and paste it and make it the active selection. Similarly, come to next union avatar body material, click here, Ctrl V, paste it and click on this and make this the selection. Then come to union avatar bottom, Ctrl V and paste it, select this, make it the active, and then again come to next texture here, press Ctrl V to paste it, make this the active one. Then similarly you select the shoes, Ctrl V to paste it and make this the active one. Similarly, now select union avatar top, Ctrl V to paste it, make it the active one. And then I will select the next texture here, Ctrl V to paste it and make it the active one. And finally the last texture here, Ctrl V to paste it and make it the active one. So now in every material you have to see that this image texture is added and it is active. This is the first step you have to do. Now the second step you have to now do is, I will come back to the layout, click on the model. I am in object mode. I will select the model and I will come over here to the object data properties. So I will click on this object data properties. You have vertex group here, shape keys here, and below that you have UV maps. If you open this UV maps, you have one default UV map present over here. So to test this, in the top panel, come to UV editing panel, and here you can see this is the default. So if you are not seeing this, see that you are in edit mode. Press A to select everything, and you can see how if I press A, see how my texture is totally messed up. So now what I have to do is I have to come to UV maps here and click on the plus icon here, and I am going to name this as baked, and I am going to give it the name as baked. For the original UV map, we want this render to be on, but for baked, select baked, but do not switch on render. UV map render is on, baked is selected. What I have to now do is come over here. You are in the UV editing window, which is this image editor panel, UV editor panel. In the UV editor panel, press A to select everything. And after you select everything over here, see that in your model also everything is selected by pressing A, and in this UV editor also select everything here. Come to UV and choose the option pack islands, and when I click on this, you are going to see this option. Leave everything as it is and click on pack, and now within a few seconds, now all the texture, that is all the 6 UV maps are together mapped, and you have this map ready in baked. So we have 2 UV maps. One is this original UV map, and this is the baked UV map. And with now, see that this baked UV map is now selected. UV map render icon is on, but it is not selected. Baked render icon is off, and it is selected. Come to this render properties. Coming to render properties, in render engine, from EV, select cycles. And once you choose cycle, this feature set you can select anything, supported or experimental, that doesn't matter. If you have graphic card, you can choose GPU compute. So if you come to edit, preferences, and in system, you will have the graphic card. So now it is set to none. I will set it to CUDA, or I will set it to optics, and I am going to choose my RTX card. Okay, and I will close it. Now coming over here, this GPU compute is on, so that my rendering will happen faster. Then I will, if it is not there, if graphic card is not there, don't worry, choose CPU. If you scroll down, you have an option here, bake. Open this bake option, and inside the bake option, you have bake type. It is right now set to combine. Click on this and select diffuse. And after this, in contribution, switch off direct and indirect, so that there is no effect of light on your baked structure, and leave all other thing as it is. And now you have the bake button here. I will now click on the bake button. When you click on the button, it takes a few seconds. Wait for a few seconds. Okay, as you can now see here, I will click somewhere outside, and I will deselect everything here, and you can now see the combined texture rendered over here. You have the combined texture rendered here, and only thing now is you have to come to the image tab here. In the image tab, come here and choose save as, and in your Sudhi avatar folder with the same name, Sudhi_body_texture.png, click on save as image. So our texture file is now saved. You come to this outliner, and instead of this view layer, I am going to select the blender file option. Select this blender file option, and you have all the components of blender that is accommodated inside your blender file. I will come to images and select all the images present here, or right click and choose delete. I have deleted all the images. Come back here to materials, and in materials now select all the materials present here and right click and choose delete. So all the materials here are deleted. Come back here to the view layer and select your Sudhi body. I am going to select this back. I will come to this material window, and here you have so many materials applied which are all deleted. Okay, select this and press minus and delete of all the material so that no material is applied to this. Or I will come to shading and I will click on new material, and this new material I am going to name this material as Sudhi underscore body material, and then for this I will press shift plus A, and in search I am again going to search image texture, and I will attach my image texture as the base color here, and then here come to open and click on open, and whichever Sudhi body texture.png file you had created, you had saved, select that file and click on open image. Now come back to layout window, and if you see this is not properly applied. Why is it? Because if you come to the object data property here, this is getting applied to this UV map. So select this original UV map now and click on this minus button and delete it. And once you delete it, now you can see that the texture is perfectly applied. And the second thing is, this is a single texture. So if you come to your folder H Sudhi avatar, and if you click on this PNG file, and if you see this, see all the 6 materials are combined together into one single texture, and this texture is what is applied over here. Now I will go to file and choose save. So this job is done. See this model, if you come and see here, this has 28,690 vertices. So I have to reduce this file size, or the number of vertices and faces and polygons. See, if this is not visible here, you can right click here and enable scene statistics. When you enable this and when you select the model, it will show how many vertices, faces and triangles are there. So now I will come into the modifier. You have one armature modifier applied. I will come to add modifier, and I am going to search for a modifier called as Decimate. So select this Decimate, and right now in collapse ratio it is set to 1. See, you see the image. Okay, this is the image you are seeing. Now in the ratio, see what happens if I set it to around 0.1 and press enter. So now what happened? You see immediately the number of vertices from 28,000, it got reduced to how much? 5,000. And if you see the image, see, you just observe it with the texture, you observe it and see the quality of the image. So if these bones are obstructing, you can switch off bones now. So and you can view it. So this is appearing a little odd. So what I will do is, instead of 0.1, I will set it to 0.3. And okay, this is fine. This appears to be fine. And now you can see from 28,000, this is reduced to 11,695. And then I will come to file. I am going to save this. Then I am going to come to file, and in export, I am going to come here, choose FBX, set the path mode, let it be auto only. Then come to Sudhi underscore GLB model.fbx. I am going to give it the name, and now if I save it, In this session, what we did, we combined all the meshes together, and once we combined, it had about 9 to 10 materials applied to it. We deleted all those materials. We created a new UV map. We used the pack islands command in UV filter to actually pack it all the 8 material UV maps into one. We baked the texture. We created one single texture, and so we now have one single mesh and one single texture.